Hello, everyone, and welcome to this little cute episode of the UBports Q&A, episode 129. Yeah, we have been. I think we're doing good with the occasional reporting of things and making it more frequent now. Back on our old track and making sure that we can give you the news. And today with me is Lee.
Hello everyone, and yeah, it's nice to try to keep the pace with the Q&As. I think
Yeah.
it's not the same as the old days, but at least we are here and we talk to the community, and I hope it's fine for everyone.
We've grown older. We've grown past the past. So yeah, that was inevitable. Rather. So with that, I think we should head over straight to the news. We do have a few merge requests that have been merged over the past 2 weeks that I would like to mention that might be interesting for many people in the community. So what's new is that with OTA 4 coming up, not coming up, but being in development right now, making sure that we can provide way more secure access to higher privileged functionality. So to say, for example, installing a snap package or starting a systemd service, just requiring the PIN of the user without using sudo. And for that, we have the Lumiri Polkit agent now, which takes care of showing a little dialogue at the top, showcasing about or telling you about the privileged operation that you want to do, or that the app wants to do on your behalf. And you enter your PIN and basically allow or disallow the use of certain higher privileged operations. And for that, we also have a fix now which caused it not to pop those dialogues up anymore in Lumiri Polkit agent. And that means that whenever Lumiri gets restarted, whenever Lumiri crashes, whenever you try to kill Lumiri, it will also restart the Polkit agent with it, so that everything stays neatly secured, but also to make sure that the expected behavior is there and the functionality is given at any moment. We've also started replacing some usensord references in the seed with HFD servers now, or Rachanan specifically did this one, which, usensord is not much of use to us nowadays anymore, so getting rid of those references is probably a very good idea anyway. We also have a few changes regarding child processes in AppArmor, getting started with so little privileges that you can't almost do anything with it, including LXD containers or snap operations. And now you can. So the terminal has a few fixes in there, which, or not the terminal app itself, but the AppArmor profile for the unconfined applications has a fix now, which means that you can make proper use of more applications now, which are less restricted, still certainly restricted in certain ways, but it's working better now, so that, for example, you can install a snapped up Git, which I happen to maintain, which I maintain for my own use cases as a snap package, and you want to just git commit a message from standard in. It didn't work before, now it does. And certain things like that make the experience of using the terminal way more functional and exciting for most people there. And there's also some changes regarding Ethercast prematurely disconnecting from the screen, from the remote screen, whenever it rescans for new devices around the area. And Ethercast now is more stable. So whenever you connect to a remote display and you happen to trigger a certain way of rescanning the devices, however that might be, it would still stay intact. It would check whether the connection is up or not. And if it's connected, then it will just say, okay, no, I'm keeping the connection up is way more important now. Refuse the scan request and do whatever it needs to do to perform what Ethercast is actually supposed to do, making it more stable and whatnot. More transitions over to HFD servers, and we've also landed, or Rachanan took my what was it again? The Qt web engine patches and made them work way better now. It's way more stable and way more exciting to play 4K video with it. It's still got some issues which I've not been able to figure out myself. So I would like to get this hardware accelerated video decoding story like pitch perfect for Ubuntu Touch, because that's one of those things that the established players, so to say, as we like to call them, the Apples and the Googles and whatnot, they have very great browser performance, and I think we should have the same thing too, which basically means patching up Qt web engine to the point where it provides what we want to have. And that's certainly something that we sometimes have to do, but it's fun to play around with.
Yeah, and you have several news that goes towards the goal of something more robust, more just working, and that's great, because stability, we discussed it earlier, it's the key for the success of Ubuntu Touch, in my opinion.
Definitely, yeah. And stability is what we want to provide in the first place. So, and the reliability of the whole, let's call it product, so to say, is very important. Yeah, what else do we have here? We do have some porting changes also. So a few ports are receiving a few treatments here. For example, I see the Redmi Note 9 Pro. Miatol is getting some changes, migrating over to Overlay Store and enabling wireless display support, which, and then it reverted. Okay, then it reverted to support again. And the next overlay change fixes it, it seems. So if anyone out there with a Xiaomi Redmi Note 9 Pro is playing around with wireless display, let me know if this works. I have no idea. I would like to know. And I would like to actually help get the experience way better with maybe some settings in system settings where you can change the resolution or stuff like that. Maybe that would enhance the Ethercast support just a tiny little bit. There's also so I will wrap it up real quick because there's so many detailed changes happening here, but OTA 4 starts with a lot of changes coming in, and it's exciting to see what the community is doing at the moment. So if you want to check it out, you can check it out on GitLab. Well, mind you, also there's another thing that comes up right now, and that is we seem to have a little bit of server issues with GitLab hosting at the moment, which means that certainly some Git repositories seem to have issues. We will fix those issues, I'm pretty sure, but it's a tedious process. So bear with us if you encounter any issues with, I don't know, builds not installing properly or builds failing somewhere on GitLab. Please make sure to get in touch with us so that we can figure out what's going wrong. So, do you have anything to add to the news? Is there anything that you can
Sadly,
mention?
I wasn't really available the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks even, because I traveled a lot, and I will also travel a lot in the coming weeks. So no, I didn't kept tabs on the development of Ubuntu Touch. Sorry.
But did the experience? What was it? The experience? Then there's no problem whatsoever with it. So hats off to you anyway.
Yeah, what I like is that because I can travel in a foreign country and still have no issue with my phone. So I never experienced.
That's what I wanted to
like
get
that.
to. Yeah, that's what I wanted to get to. Did the experience with the phone work out properly?
Yeah, I think
Perfect.
the last time I had an issue traveling abroad, it was I just needed to reboot the system to connect to the new network
All
because
right.
toggling flight mode and online mode didn't work at the time, but it was just
Right.
once. And
Right.
also, big shout out for Pure Maps because I love it so much.
Yeah.
Having the ability to have the offline maps and everything works seamlessly for me, that's a big win, and I love
Yeah.
this app. Thank you.
Totally. Totally. Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. Perfect example for what the touch has to offer here. Really, right?
Yeah,
Um, so I think we should head over to the sponsors section then, right?
I
What do you
think
think?
it's time. So we'd like to thank our sponsors. We'd like to thank Smooth, Voya, Pine64, and also DigitalOcean, Cloudrun, Netlify, sorry, and Gandhi.net. Also, we would like a big thanks to our patrons. I don't know if the list is updated, but uh, the
We'll
heart
see.
is here. Thank you, Heather Ellsworth, Christian Jackal, Rondarius, Spendirhose, PK, Kenneth Drew, Daniel Franchak, Robin Hood, ACL, Tafitson, Gardner and Associate Consulting Incorporated, Tixia, JT, Will Atwood. Thank you all. And if you want to help us continue what we do, you can head to https. Okay, ubports.com/donate. It's simpler this way because
There we go. Yeah.
you have the browser to fill in the colon and slash.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. We still care about protocol so much.
Yeah, but
All
HTTPS
right.
is great.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks to everyone involved, and thanks to everyone who sponsors whatever amount of donations or time or energy they are willing to donate over to
Yeah,
Ubuntu Touch. So
and
yeah,
I would also like to add also the contributors on the forum because
oh
it
yeah,
helps the community a lot, and also all the people that donate to developers because, as you all know, we need developers to make the best of Ubuntu Touch because apps the the center nerve of everything. If we don't have
right,
apps, we don't have a real usable operating system.
right. Well, yeah. So I don't know. Should we head over to the questions, or do we want something else now to round it up? What do you think?
I think we can head to the questions, and
All right. Yeah,
we may make some sideways because we like to talk a lot.
that is true. Yeah. I agree with
So
that.
I can ask you the first question from Mesaisto. Mesaisto
Yeah.
says that he heard that several times in the forums that it can help to make a clean focal OTA3 install, including ticked wipe box for fixing artifacts and remaining faults of Xenile. So his first question is it true?
Possibly, yeah. There are certain things that have changed between the Xenial Ubuntu Touch environment and the focal based one. Most notably, the system D involvement and also the involvement of or changes in how we had to treat users, privileges, and stuff like that, and installation of click packages. There were some issues early on with click packages being installed in the wrong database or something. I don't remember the details, but yeah, there are certain things that might be fixed with a proper wipe coming from Xenial to Focal. It's sad, but we do hope to get a backup solution in there some day in the future to to basically make this as simple as possible, so that you can just reinstall from a backup, and all your music, all your pictures, all your video files are stored in your Nextcloud, for example, and then you can just restore those from the Nextcloud whenever you have to wipe the device. So I mean, that is something that we could do, what that we would like to accomplish, and we do have the code for it. We had inherited it from canonical times, so it's there, but it's not properly packaged up and polished to the point where a regular user would be able to use it very much at the moment. So I see. Yeah. So the answer to the first question is, yeah, it's true. Some things might be better off with a reflash, including a complete reset of the phone with a wipe option enabled.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess it's always true. For the longest time, I'm running Linux in my main computer, and I always did system updates on the same hard drive. And once the first issue appeared, I said, okay, this update was horrible. It doesn't work. There's bugs everywhere. In fact, my hard drive started to fail. So that's why. And also, I noticed the size of my .kde, because I'm a KDE user. My .kde folder was starting to get big and bigger. And for once in a while, I liked also to make a clean install, just to get rid of old configuration files and stuff like that. It's also true for Ubuntu Touch. So
that's
once
true.
in a
Yeah.
while, it's nice to have, even if most of the time just a system update is fine, and it works good. But for
Mm.
OTA3, it's better. Also, a second question from Esaisto was, while ADB is no longer working on a newer Allium version, is there a convenient way to back up your data and configuration before doing a clean install? And
Well,
I guess you have a good answer to that.
I can't really follow the question, because I've been using ADB to connect to my phone for the last year exclusively, and SSH also, of course. But tethered to my laptop, I've used ADB over the last year, and I see no resemblance of what the question points at in my personal experience. So newer Halium versions definitely have ADB working. That's probably some misinformation here, but assuming you get into an ADB recovery on your phone, you can just create the tarball of your user data partition and restore that on a new phone. In fact, I did this with my Pixel 3a. So I used to have the black device, the all black Pixel 3a. Now I have the white one here. And I'm working on a little light theme here. So you can see the top bar being white instead of black. So just following a light theme type of deal here. That's also something I'm toying at the moment with. I hope to get it out soon. But for that, I needed to just create a tarball of everything that was in the user data partition, and just unpack it on the second device, and it pretty much worked out of the box. So I have, and this is probably one of those devices that would benefit from clean installation anyway, because it has been transferred from Xenial over to Focal, and from a Focal device to another Focal device. So it should certainly still be possible to do backups using ADB.
Yeah, great. And if you do not, if ADB doesn't work on your device, you can also use SSH. That's my preferred method, because I just push the key onto my device, and then I can log in anytime I want, and it's
Right.
It's flawless. I like ACP to so much to just copy the archive. So it's easy to deploy just after a quick setup.
Right. Well, yeah, I think that answers the first question, or the first question is from the community. The next one is from SAP, not SAP, not to be confused with SAP, I guess. So, hello. Since Ubuntu Touch is a huge project with many areas of expertise, one big need is more people working on it. Is there a plan to increase donations or find new sponsors so that more people can be employed? Is there a plan to make more volunteers contributing to it? What about Google Summer of Code and such programs? Thank you for all the work and your time. Yeah, thanks for the kind words, first of all. And second of all, yeah, we definitely have plans or at least wishes to increase the. I mean, of course we want to grow. Of course we want to grow the base, and not only the user base, but also the expertise around maintaining Ubuntu Touch. We might have to do this sooner or later. But yeah, I mean, there are certainly wishes, concrete plans. I'm not really sure of, to be honest here. Something like a Google Summer of Code or such program could, in theory, work to help us and help other people and help the project grow. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Um,
we do the live stream.
yeah, totally.
This is a way to spread the word also and to show that the community is still active and that we are still
Yeah,
working on it. Because even last year at FOSDEM, we also crossed some guys that just thought that Ubuntu Touch was dead after
yeah,
Canonical dropped it. So yeah, even now the world is not has not made the entire world.
right,
We can also spread the word a bit more. So
exactly.
and you were at the Ubuntu Summit. It was 1 month
Yeah,
ago,
totally. Yeah,
and
yeah. I'm not sure if I have talked about the Ubuntu Summit experience up until now, but it was phenomenal. Like, I was really happy to be there, seeing familiar faces, also seeing faces to the usernames that you usually communicate with, or sometimes just read forum posts about or discourse posts about or from. That is such a great experience to just be there, right? And
yeah,
enjoy the talks, enjoy the atmosphere, and talking to people. It was the Ubuntu Summit was great, really. Believe me, I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone involved who was there that this was a great, exciting 3 days. So
yeah.
yeah,
And sadly, I couldn't be there, but I will
yeah.
be there at first. Then that is the plan, and it's been planned for a year.
Oh, we have some great questions here. So we do have Maro jumping in saying, if there's anything we can improve, let us know. Okay, maybe because I was already very like I was speechless. I couldn't have done this better myself, so I don't know what to do better there. So really great job to everyone involved making this happen. So yeah, that's pretty much where I stand on this point on this front. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I'm scrolling through the comments also, and yeah, I wanted to also to make a shout out to UNAV because yeah, because it's also a great app. I tend to
yeah.
prefer pure maps, but UNAV is really great too. So and we
Hey,
need the balance between the
yeah, we
two.
have two great mapping solutions on Ubuntu Touch. Who would have thought that this was possible, right?
And once you get I don't know if it has been fixed for the AGPS thing, but once you get the first ping, after that it's really fast.
Oh yeah,
And I don't turn off my phone often, so it's just after opening it the first time, you just need to check it, and yeah,
oh yeah,
after it's
yeah,
fast. So yeah, I never had any issue with those apps, so that's great.
yeah, yeah. It's sometimes. I mean, it's certainly great to have those native apps that really ensure that a smartphone works because we can provide a great platform, but without a great mapping solution, smartphone doesn't provide much of a use for many people, right? So
Mm.
in that sense, we are at a good point right now. And I seem to have an issue with my earbuds at the moment. They're going low on battery. Let's
Okay.
if I turn silent, just let me know. We do this live.
Okay. I will send you a ping.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so next question by
Yeah.
Dom
By
UB.
Dom. Yeah, I will try to say it. Butcher his
Okay,
name. Domu BP Kiem. They ask, what are the priorities before the end of the year, before the holidays? Will there be any updates on the software side between now and then? And if Alfred is here, he's here.
yeah,
Could he speak of his app, Snapzor, Dr. Fadel to me? This is a great project for UT. So, yeah, I guess you have a Snap question.
yeah. I figured. So yeah, Snapser is basically I just call it Snapser for whatever reason. I just find it funny the way it sounds.
It's like the
Uh,
Terminator.
yeah, the Austrian killing machine. No, no, absolutely not. So let's not confuse ourselves with punk bands or whatever. So let's let's put it into perspective. We want to have some great software on our platform, but on the other hand, how do we get there without too much of an involvement on many contributors' sides? And for that, for example, getting GIMP to work, getting Firefox to work on the convergent use case, and for that we might need something short term like Snapster, which just enables Snap support uh, after an installation of Ubuntu Touch itself, so that you get the ability to search for Snap packages, install them, remove them. You can install a full-blown Snap store if you will, or if you want to, if you feel inclined to do so. So in that sense, there is, I see the need for a good, like, better version of what Libertine could have been, or is used to be known for.
You're
Um,
right, and people's expectation of Libertine were too high, and
yeah,
I think many people tried Ubuntu Touch and get away from it because they didn't get this LibreOffice GIMP experience that you
yeah.
propose, and yeah, I hope Snap will be an answer to that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I agree. Um, there is also something to be said about just having fun with the device, and that's basically why snaps on Ubuntu Touch are cool, right? just to play around with them. For example, my tablet is running LXD containers like nobody else's laptop, so I am able to do full blown development on my Ubuntu Touch tablet using LXD and Snapcraft and stuff like that. So, and even made it possible to build kernels on the device for another Halion device, which is wow. I'm happy having those tools available, right?
Yeah,
So
I think that was a dream a couple of years ago from other developers that they can use their Ubuntu device, Ubuntu Touch device, to develop for another device.
yeah.
And yeah, you bring that. So thank you. That's huge.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
also on
but yeah,
the other side of the question about the priorities for the end of the year, for the holidays, do we have plans for, let's say, a release until the end of the year? Or
uh, I'm not really in line with the whole. I mean, I'm not really sure about the current schedule of the next OTA release. I don't think we have anything specific right now. It's we just reopened development for the next OTA, so it might take some time. But until then, I'm pretty sure we can get some very exciting changes in still. I mean, considering that every change might be exciting differently in a different way to someone else. So there might be something that you would like to enjoy in the future, and you can already see happening before holidays. I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
Um,
at least on the
especially with
Touch channel.
yeah, right, right. Also, keep in mind though, regarding the Snapster enablement, what I forgot was that Snap support requires a patched Snapd for Halium-based drivers, for libhybris-based drivers, so that we can do hardware accelerated OpenGL on Snap packages, on Snap apps, which is not upstream yet, and it will take some time until it gets there. But when we have it, you will be able to run Qt applications or GTK applications with OpenGLES. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've tested it with like my QML creator, some other Qt apps, and even the Flutter apps. So even the Fluffy chat, if you remember that from
Yeah.
previous days from the past, Fluffy chat in a Snap works pretty okay-ish without a keyboard for now, but it works okay-ish. It renders quickly. It renders quickly enough that you can actually feel like this is going somewhere. It just needs the enablement on the on-screen keyboard to be a really functional thing for the phone use case.
Okay. That's a lot of hope on those
Yeah,
projects. Yeah,
definitely.
many exciting news.
So next question, I will take this one. Reading it out, Wally is asking. I'm curious how the foundation works. How many employees are there? Does money for the foundation also go to paid workers or to things like hosting costs? Would more money coming in mean more coders be hired? And is this desired, or is this general preference to keep it mostly community volunteer based? Thank you. Well, I think I will admit nobody here is, or at least I am not involved much in the other than being a trustee. But also, I'm not very much involved in the foundational aspects of what is happening, like financially, or so to say. Um, but I'm pretty sure we would like to grow in capabilities and also in a little bit of manpower. That's just an assumption here. Don't quote me on having said anything on behalf of the foundation. But I do believe that there is a reason for the foundation having to grow in the long run anyway. So, yeah, I mean, we still have to keep balance anyhow, whether there is someone employed working on it or someone in the community as a volunteer. So there always will be this balance, and I don't see that much of an issue with paid workers for the foundational side. Um, but that's pretty much what I can say about that at the moment.
Yeah. I'm also not a member of the foundation, so I cannot give any insight. But yeah, I guess more money is always welcome because it will allow more developers. But one developer is a lot of money, so it's not with I don't know, let's say a couple of thousands a year that it won't make a difference. It won't get a new job opening. But at least every penny counts because they need to maintain the servers, they need to maintain infrastructure, and it also helps with traveling to the conference and a different summit or forums, or I don't know what the name is, but yeah, every donation counts, and that's really really helpful. But I don't think we have some target about growth and something. I think the main focus is about as we said in the beginning, about the stability of the OS and growing the community, because more users means more developers, means more enjoyable user experience of
Definitely,
YouTube.
yeah.
And yeah, I think we all want a better OS, and more resources means more means to have this better OS. So
definitely, yeah.
I guess no one will say no, we don't want money. We don't want. We want to keep it small and keep it between 5 or 10 people that are just here to play with things. No, we want it to for the whole world to enjoy.
Exactly, yeah. So there was also good question here coming up, and that is, I would love to have LXD integration like on the Ubuntu Core desktop. If you want that, you can have that with workshops in the Snap store. So you can, in theory, just use workshops with Ubuntu Touch, just spawning LXD containers, which is cool in the convergence setup, right? So you can do pretty much any development type of deal with one application that gives you access to all possible distributions out there. Maybe not all possible distributions. There will be someone releasing another Linux distribution just to invalidate that statement, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so we also had a great thing about this one. This one is very important. If you're contributing to Ubuntu Touch for 6 months, you're planning to continue for at least as much, apply to become a trustee of the foundation. Just shouting out there, if you want to apply, there are resources on the website to apply for that membership, and get in touch with us and make sure that because we definitely need people around that make sure that this boat stays afloat, right? The way that it does.
Yeah.
And on all type of scenarios.
And yeah, about applying to be a trustee. Yeah, I thought about it for the last time when it was communicated on the forum. But I knew at the time that I will have a lot of work for the foreseeable future, so I didn't want to do it yet. But hopefully next year, if things go well, I will try to come down on the professional side. So yeah, at least I will try to get as involved as possible.
Right.
I try to be there.
Okay, yeah. We do have one remaining question from the forum, and that is from Mr. T 10001. Install experiences may vary. I know installing any ROM or alternate operating system in our case can go two routes: the easy route or the hard route. It is no what to do when going down the hard route, which is what most people's issue. It's not. Oh no, wait a second. I will try to repeat that. It is knowing what to do when going down the hard route, which is most people's issue. Is it possible to have better installation documentation using people's experience and pictures rather than someone's note from GitLab? This may encourage people to take a plunge and install on their spare device. Well, to be honest, the main installation method still for the Android-based devices is still the UBports installer, so it shouldn't need much of a GitLab guide. Everything should be in the installer so that it's easy to follow the steps. The application helps you along the way installing Ubuntu Touch on the thing. And sure, there are certain things you need to do yourself, like unlocking the bootloader, but that's not something that we can give a guarantee for. And in some cases, the UBports installer will do it for you, but not in every case. Depends on the device. It's a very complicated situation. So yeah, I mean, if we can improve it some way or another, I'm pretty sure people would like to do that. But how to improve that is the main question here. So I don't know. Maybe needs a little bit of brainstorming across many different areas of the project. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult topic because if you are trying to install Ubuntu Touch on a device, you will use the installer. It will work nice. Okay, no problem. If it doesn't work, then you get into trouble. And the reason why it doesn't work are different. And it's difficult to anticipate it, take screenshot, and the person trying to install it the hard way will not have time, at least brain time, to take screenshots and try to document what they tried, what worked, what didn't work, and to extract the method they are using. Yeah, it's a bit complicated, and I don't think there is one solution fits it all on
Right.
this issue, because when you have issue, it can be because it's a used phone and you have uh, some dead I don't know, dead spot in the memory. I cannot find my words. So yeah, if the memory is corrupted, that's the word I was looking for. If the memory is corrupted, you don't know that, and maybe if you try 2-3 times, it will fix itself, quote
Yeah,
unquote,
happens
because
sometimes.
because how the memory is designed, then they will have some backup, and they can try to increase and detect that this is a dead spot, and you cannot use this sector of the memory. But
Right.
that's some magical stuff that happens on some device, not some others. And even if you have one reference, you don't know if the chip is the same series, and if it's the
Yeah.
same manufacturing process, if it's the
Which
same
is also
wafer.
which is also the reason why sometimes devices need specific vendor blobs or whatever installed on them, which are sometimes noted down in GitLab stuff, GitLab wikis or
Hmm.
similar readmes or something. I mean, putting those links into the UBports installer's overview page is certainly a doable task. And it should encourage people to install it on their spare devices that way more easily, for sure. But yeah, that's probably one way to solve this. I don't know.
Yeah, and supply chain issues. Mainly with COVID, we experienced that, and I experienced it in a professional manner.
Mm.
When you have uh, some discontinuation or obsolescence of some parts, you need a replacement, and you try to find the best fit, but it's not 100%. So yeah, basically with the same model, you can have various components inside, and that can lead to trouble with alternative OS that are not tested, because of course they test with Android, with 2 or 3 versions of Android, but not with Ubuntu Touch or other alternative OS.
Mm. Yeah. So let's see. Is there anything in the live chat happening right now? Oh, I see Luigi popping up here. Of PinePhone and PineTap fame. So hats off to Luigi here.
Yeah,
Um,
which he asked
Linux
how
Gaming
many
Alchemy here.
people did he hire with his $15. Maybe an haircut of someone.
Yeah, there is an interesting question by Linux Gaming Alchemy. Is there a roadmap for UBports development, and why not crowdfund? Oh, come on! Why not crowdfund the different steps for the roadmap? Well, we do have certain plans on a roadmap, um, but the crowdfunding, I don't know. We would have to talk about this. Sure, it could work in certain areas. I'm not sure if it's the magic silver bullet here, but it's certainly something that we can do way more often, or at least, I mean, for example, the Waydroid campaign was a crowdfunded story, and maybe certain similar things can work for other occasions as well. Like, for example, developing something for the Ubuntu Touch operating system itself, or Holly importing, or whatever. Um, could definitely help us in some areas, but it needs someone organizing it. And right now we have no one organizing it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
yeah, as soon as someone does it,
yeah, it needs someone to do it because crowdfunding is very hard and needs a lot of time to put because yeah, it's really a communication effort and
mm,
for someone selling let's say something that they make some custom painted mugs and they want to sell them. It's not a big deal to create this campaign because it just means a matter of time, taking good photos, and but you need also to sustain a network that will be involved into the process. So crowdfunding can be a lot of work. And yeah, podcast Ubuntu Portugal said crowdfunding is hard because we don't always know how long something is going to take.
yeah, that is true. That is true
That is
indeed.
totally true.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
see another good question here. We crowdfunding a GPS? Well, hopefully that could work. I see nothing against that actually. We could
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. If we can find one people or a couple of people with the technical knowledge and to make the deep dive, yeah, that can be a crowdfunding effort.
Could be done. Yeah. I like where you're going, Fuse Team. I like where you're thinking.
Yeah, Fustimi is a valued member of the forum.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're 46 minutes into the stream. If anyone has any questions now, please speak up. Please let us know. Other than that, I guess we're pretty much done now, right? Pretty much going good for this episode. Oh, I see one. I see one. Yeah, I see one that I have to answer now.
Yeah.
So I have to answer this one because it's a personal matter of mine that I'm not really proud of, but it is what it is. So Luigi asks, "How's your OnePlus Pad going?" I remember the crowdfunding for that a while back. So I received the device. I had it for 48 hours. I bricked it by switching the boot slot, and it doesn't count back to the previous boot slot anymore. And to fix that situation, I need it to be sent into a service center. And I'm not really sure if they're going to take it. If someone wants me to help here, wants to help me here, please get in touch with me because the OnePlus Pad is just lying on the couch here and not doing much right now. Yeah, I'm not really proud of that. I bricked about the fact that I bricked it, but I will try to ensure that I get it back to life, so that I can work on it. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think we have also another one interesting from Fustim. Any thoughts on portal support for clipboard support in snaps?
Oh yeah, well, definitely something that we could take a look into. In fact, we should look into that. I'm not really sure how much of the pre-existing XDG portal enablement from other desktop environments we can reuse, like feasibly, so that they look integrated well enough for first shot, or whether we should create our own desktop XDG desktop implementations for the various interfaces that they provide. I have not looked into the clipboard support for snaps, but I do think it needs something on the Wayland side to be fixed also in the Qt mirror component. If I'm not mistaken, I would have to check myself whether this is true. But yeah, Amy shooting with voice over
Yeah, I
LTE.
was going
Of
to
course.
answer. Yeah, it's still work in progress, I will say, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's difficult to give an estimate,
Yeah.
an accurate estimate, because we can always give an estimate. It's easy enough, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But also, there is something to be said about alternatives to voice over LTE now, and that is people are,
Fingerman
yes, someone,
37, yeah, that's it.
yeah, there we go. SIP maybe. So yeah, we could in theory also have SIP integration into Ubuntu Touch, so that you don't have to rely on voice over LTE in the first place, so that you can do your voice calls with a SIP account. For that, there are multiple solutions, either getting something off the shelf to work on it, or integrate it into the operating system itself for an even better experience potentially. And there are certainly people who want it, who want to like sip it up and sip it out. And yeah, there's for example also Linphone. Yeah, Linphone could also work. Um, there has been a SIP app, and I think it doesn't have a proper maintenance at the moment. I'm not really sure who's maintaining it, to be honest, but I would have to check it myself. But hey, SIP calling as an alternative would also be a very interesting point to have, right? So on a smartphone that wants to be open and free. Oh well, I think we have done a great show today or tonight, time appropriately. And that wraps it up for tonight. So if you like what you heard, if you like what you saw, and you want to join the whole party, and you want to install Ubuntu Touch, get the UBports installer. If it doesn't have a integration or a port made for it yet, it needs a custom image built for the device. So head over to UBports porting on Telegram and get in touch with us there if you're interested in getting ports working on your device. And let's see what the future brings and where we can go. So
Yeah.
thanks a lot, everyone who was involved. And you want to say something still?
I wanted to say you can also head to ubuntu-touch.io if you want to join the community or to learn about the device supported. Okay, and we also have some social media, I guess.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah,
Mastodon,
totally.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything.
Look for us, you can find us.
Yeah, it's mostly at UBports or hashtag UBports or something like that.
Exactly. So thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see each other next time, hopefully in 2 weeks again.
Yeah, hopefully. Have a great time. Bye-bye.
Bye. And